Okay, so this is what you should have with you right now, your book that we started working on yesterday, your thread, and your needle. The first thing we're going to do is get this paper, because this was our scratch paper. It was just to help us get our holes right. And you're just going to fold it back. You want to just get it out of the way. We don't need this anymore. But I don't want to remove the binder clip because just in case, you know, we don't want it to come apart. So this we just want to get out of the way. Like we'll throw it away once we bind our pages. I don't want to remove the clip because the holes may not be lined up and it'll get crazy. Next thing we're going to do, we want to thread our needle. Thread our needle. Sorry guys, I have the chat open, so I'll just check in. This thread is a little bit thicker. So if you've ever sewn before, you'll notice this thread's a little bit thicker. What you want to do, and what I do, is I'll just get my nails and then just kind of like do this, just kind of really like squeeze it, like make it like super thin. So that way it can get onto the needle. The needle I purchased for you guys has a bigger eye, the eye of the needle, kind of like the eye of the storm. So it shouldn't be too difficult, but it's going to get a little tricky. So just, you know, take your time. I won't start till already. But really just using your nail to like really just like get the thread and flatten it makes it a little bit easier. Now, for those of you that have taken my class before, we're not doing a knot. And as you can see, the thread, it gets like pretty stuck on that needle. You know, it's part of the wax, part of the thickness. So what I want you to do is to give it about like a finger's length, and then you're just gonna leave it. No knots, no nothing. Okay, so everyone has their needle, their thread is attached, or through actually, because remember, we're not doing a knot. And what we're gonna do, the easiest way is to have, remember this is where the holes are, to have this facing us. And what we're gonna do, you put your needle to the side, is I want you to count 12 or 13 pages in, because we need to get to roughly the middle of our book. So just count to 12 or 13. So for me, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, so here I am in the middle. So what I did, I just kept, because what we want is just the middle of the book. So like roughly at the 12th or 13th page, that's what we want. Now, what you're gonna do is we're gonna start on the second hole, and we're gonna come through the middle. So through the middle, and we're gonna go all the way to the top, to the cover. So just start in that second hole, and you might have to kind of guide it through. It should be pretty good because you did that needle dance, but you might have to guide it through. And when you pull your needle through, don't pull it all the way out. I don't want your thread to just come straight out. So pull it through that hole. It's gonna get a little tough. It's okay. Wiggle it. Oh, it'll come out. So we're gonna pull that thread. Okay, so I'm starting on the second, in the middle of my book, second hole from the middle. And what I want you to do is we're gonna leave a tail, because this is how we're gonna end. So you're gonna leave a tail. And roughly, again, roughly about the length of your finger. Roughly about the length. And all you're gonna do is just let it like sit inside. So see how I'm kind of just like folding it into the book. It's just gonna sit there. It's gonna hang out. that little tail. Okay, so be careful. You know, we're gonna start actually sewing now. You don't want to pull too hard because that tail is just kind of sitting in your journal. So we started in the middle. We're in that second hole. You're actually going to get your thread and we're going to go around the spine and all the way around, all around to the back of the book through the second hole again. So again, you might have to like this. This one's always a little bit tough because your pages are like, wait, what's happening right now? And then you have that other thread kind of peeking, but you want to go around from the back to the top. So you see my needle coming out. And again, this, you know, where the needle, like the eye is going to be a little tough. So just kind of, you know, give it a little gentle tug. Don't, you know, rip it. And we're going to pull that thread all the way through. Just kind of get it straight. Remember, don't pull too tightly, but you want it, you know, snug. Okay, so now we're here. Now, I'm going to go to, I'm coming out of the second hole. I'm going to go to the top hole and go straight through all the way to the back. And same thing, it might take a little while. I'm going to the top hole, I'm going to go straight through all the way. Ooh, okay. Okay, so we went all the way through. Now, just like before, this time I'm going to go around the spine, right? I'm making that little, almost like a little box. We go around the spine and back through that top hole. The one that we just went through, I'm going to go back through it. What you want to make sure is that your thread is going to go around the spine. Just kind of line it up, give it a little tug. And if they feel like, because like this one for me is kind of loose because that's where we started and I didn't want to pull that tail that's like sitting inside here, we're going to tighten them. So don't worry, we just want them in the spot they need to be in. Okay, so now we're back in the back. This time, what we're going to do, just like before, we went around the spine, ended up in the back. Now I'm going to go from the back. So I'm making like this other little box. And I'm going to go back through that top hole again. But this time, my thread is going to line up at the top. It's going to make a little box here in the corner. Remember, it might be like mine's getting difficult to like push through. I'm just going to lift some of the pages and just kind of give it a little bit of room. So it's not trying to like shove itself through everything all at once. And then you'll find it. Sometimes your needle will go through your thread. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see. I'm going to try to not do that. I'm going to pull my thread away. So if you can see, like when I first went through, the needle tried to go through the thread I already had there. So I kind of pulled it back out and then pushed it through. If you can't, let's say it goes through and you're like, whoops, that's okay. It just takes tightening. You just gotta work a little bit with tightening the thread. Okay, so now I have that one at the top. And again, if they're loose, it's okay. So we're in the back. We're coming out through the back. We're going to go back into the second hole. What you're noticing is we're making these little boxes, and it's the same in the back. The back is going to have them too. So we need to almost finish this box off. So from the back, again, I'm going to try to not go into this thread. I'm going to try to like go next to it if I can. It gets a little challenging. There's, this second hole is, again, a lot of work happening. Yeah, I don't think I was able to. Yeah, I think I'm going through the thread. Let me try one more time. So from the back, no, that's okay. I'm going to go through. Now that little box is finished. Now we're going to jump to this third hole. So here I am at the second. I'm going to go into the third and all the way to the back of the book. Yep, you guessed it. We're going to go around. We're going to go around the spine and back into that third hole. So I'm coming out the back. This thread's going to wrap around, and my needle is going to go into the front and back to the back of the book. Excuse me. Now, we're not finishing this box yet, okay, because we got to get back to that tail that we left in the middle of the book. So don't worry, this is going to get finished at the end when we need to finish the book. So from the back, now I'm going to go to the fourth hole. Go all the way through. And again, like my pages kind of get a little crazy, kind of hard to line up. So I'm just gonna open the pages a little bit, help my needle get through. Here we go. I'm gonna wrap around and go back into that fourth hole again. Wrap around the spine. Just kind of making sure it lines up straight. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm here on my fourth hole. Now I'm gonna start this little box. We did that corner box here. Yes, I can. I have this corner box, so I'm going to go around and back through that fourth hole again. Remember, just be gentle. There we go. You just want to make sure to always kind of straighten your thread. Want a nice, and we'll tighten them before we finish. So now we're going to go back into the third. All the way through. Okay. So you notice the front has all of our boxes completed. The back, we just have this last one to go. What we're going to do now, so let your needle kind of hang out. We need to finish this row, but then also tie it off. We have that tail happening inside the book. So what we're going to do is take off the binder clip. Okay. Extra paper we can toss to the side. And what you're going to want to do is open your book and find that page. Find that tail that you had. There's mine. See, I see that tail. Now don't open it all the way, but I found my tail. And what we're going to do from the back, I'm going to put the needle through this last hole. I'm going to finish off this box, but I don't want it to go to the front. I want it to go here in the middle. So you kind of have to put the needle in and then kind of angle it so that way it goes over here by the tail. So I'm just going to put it in. And then just with the book open, I can just start to see that needle. Or at least I thought I did. On the side. Oh yeah, there you are. I was trying to go into the other pages. So see, I'm just getting that needle through. And then go ahead and pull it. Again, it'll take a little finagling, it's okay. You have time. Now what we're going to do is tighten. And I don't mean tighten in the sense of all of these should start bending your pages, but for instance, this one's pretty loose. This one's a little bit snug. This one's a little loose. I'm just going to go through and just kind of tighten them all. And so inside I'm holding, my tails. I'm just going to pull some of that thread tight. Some of those. It's almost like when you have your shoe, you have to kind of go backwards to tighten. So see, I'm getting this one tight. Now this one's loose. So I kind of have to figure out, okay, where did that one go? There it is. No, I want it snug, but it shouldn't be like it's kind of bending my paper, but just a little bit. You don't want to totally get crazy. There. Find this one. Okay. There we go. You kind of have to play with it, figure out like, well, which thread is, which one's which. So that's nice and tight. This one to be snug. And again, these don't have to like destroy your book. You just want them to be snug. You don't want them to be, shifting around too much. And so this is what I was talking about with going through the thread. Like you can see like right there, my thread went through the other thread. So I just have to kind of pull it through. Now I gotta find that little tail again. Okay. And pull this one with the needle. And get that snug. And I just check it again. Like if they move a little bit, that's fine. You just don't want them, like mine were really, really loose. Straighten them out.
It actually works.
It does. So now what we're gonna do a double knot. So you can take your needle off, put it back on your fabric so it doesn't run away and try to join the army, okay? Double knot. What that means is you're gonna tie this so you cross it over, go through kind of like doing a shoelace, and go all the way, all the way, all the way. Now this isn't a knot yet. Let's go again. Cross over, through the loop, pull, 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 pull. So this is one knot, because if you were tying a knot in your shoelaces. And this thread shouldn't be easy to break, the one I gave you, because it's waxed linen. So you can really pull it. We don't want this to come undone while we're working on it. So here's one knot, and now let's do it one more time. So you're technically tying 3 times to make the double knot. And then you pull, 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 pulley, pulley, pulleys. And now we're gonna trim. What I usually do is I don't go close to the knot. There's too high of a chance that it's gonna come undone. So I'll just trim a little bit off, kind of like 1/2 inch, roughly. And then I'll get my needle. And you kind of just push these guys down. Just so the tails aren't like sticking up. Dun, 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 dun. You did it. You're amazing. Happy Friday. Your book is done. Kind of. Not really. I still need to do my title, so I'm not done with that yet. Not too bad, right? Not too crazy. Oh, this is going to bother me that these are uneven. I might trim mine. If you're like me, where like I swear I measured those magazine pages. I'm also doing a different size with my advanced kids. Maybe I measured wrong. Oh well. If yours, like for instance, my cover and my magazine pages are uneven, that's okay. I'm not going to mark you off on that. That, it's Measuring gets crazy. And just like my bottom, here's my cover, that brown, and then here are all my magazine pages. That's okay. As long as they're cut nicely. That's really what I'm looking for, the craftsmanship. It's just cut nicely.